stay with that matter now, and as you have just seen in that clip, Professor Kivutha Kibwana, who is the senator for Makueni County, was speaking on that, and he joins us this evening. Thank you very much, Governor, for your time. So tell us, in brief, the issues that you have with this motion that has been passed by the Senate.
Yes, this is a motion that Senator Sang of Nandi is sponsoring, and it aims to create a county development forum where the majority of the people are parliamentarians, and that board will be responsible for ensuring that development priorities are established, and also the budgeting is approved prior going to the county assembly. And we are saying that the role of actually governors is an executive role in the county. What this bill is proposing is to say that the president of this country will have his development agenda, his budget, supervised by I don't know who, and then the president will sit as a secretary in that process. So we are saying in terms of the constitution, this is completely wrong, because there is separation of powers. The legislators do legislation, they do oversight, and so to get the senator to come to the county and do this job is actually to for Sang to suggest that devolution, the governor has no role, has no meaningful role in devolution.
What do you think informed this move by the senators to try and pass this motion? Some may say that in the recent budgeting process that we saw happening, many people were unhappy with what some of the governors had been putting into the budget. Do you think that could have been what informed the move to have the senators step in?
Well, I think, first of all, if you step in and you are not doing the job that you are supposed to do according to the constitution, that's wrong. In now the budget process, there is a county integrated plan that is being developed by the citizens themselves. So that in terms of determining what are development priorities, that already is happening. There is also a forum for coordinating development activities in the county, with the governor chairs, where the national government is also involved. So there is no need really to duplicate. And this is why we think that this initiative by Sang, because we don't think it's by the all of the Senate, this is a private motion. And although we think that, it's being, he's a proxy for some other people. And we are saying as governors that this is completely unacceptable, because it means the executive role of the governor, when the governor becomes a secretary or note taker, does not exist anymore. And for the governors, they're saying that if the Senate was to pass a law like this, then they wouldn't participate in those boards, and as a result, the senators would come and run the counties and then go back to the national level and also oversight. So it's really a mess.
What options are available for the governors? What do you intend to do with this one?
We are talking to the majority of the senators to tell them that this is really a ploy to attack devolution. We are pressing on with the referendum. In actual fact, there is now thinking that it should just be a single question on 45% of the national revenue to go to the counties, and also 2.5% for women and youth, and 2.5% for ward development. And we now are calling upon friends of devolution. We want to do a coalition on friends of devolution. All the people who want to defend devolution, because if there is no devolution, it's not going to be possible to do Vision 2030. It is not going to be possible to do the middle economy. And I even think that in the next elections, devolution is going to be the issue. And I would like to give free advice to all people who are sent to high offices, that if they are not in tandem with devolution, it will be very difficult to convince Kenyans that they don't deserve pesa mashinani.
Let's take a look at, in your view, what would be the worst case scenario if this motion actually passes and becomes law, and the senators then come and sit on that county board and approve budgets. What would that scenario be like for you?
You see, the problem is if they do that, they approve the budgets, they approve the development agenda, then when if work is done to, first of all, the governor would not determine our development agenda, because when we are campaigning, we tell people this and that will be done. So the Senate will also go back to the Senate and then oversight what they approved in the first instance. So if that happened, it means we are going back to 1963, 64, 65, when in the Constitution devolution was defeated, and I think many of the governors, like now, since we started, we haven't had any development money at all. 6 months down the road, we have been given money for salaries. In actual fact, even when we do get money for development, MPs have been given more money for development, because the CDF, the Uwezo Fund for youth and women, equalization fund where that exists is being done by MPs, roads are being done by MPs, REA, that is electricity, is being done by MPs. So even in terms of the development component, MPs may collectively in a county have more money than the governors. And yet there are only two levels of government, the national and the county government. And things that are supposed to be done by governors are now being relocated to...
So in your view, this would kill... What would you say? Would you say this would kill devolution?
It would kill devolution.
Okay.
Many people will not be interested to be governors, because you would be just a glorified secretary or clerk to, a parliamentary process.
All right. Thank you very much for that one. Governor Kivutha Kibwana, thank you very much for joining us. The governor of Makueni County, talking to us about that standoff between the governors and the senators over the management process of the counties.